So moving on from user management, the next thing we're going to look at is attributes. Now, this is something that's completely different from user management. So attributes are essentially different characteristics that you can measure about your customers. So as you can see, you will already have 8 different contact attributes existing within your account. So you're going to have avatar, email, first and last name, birth date, age, phone number, and address. So this is going to be all of the kind of key characteristics or attributes that you may want to measure about your customers. In particular, email, because this serves as the unique identifier for each of your customers. So it's required for every single account or customer within your dashboard. But if you want to measure anything additional, for example, feedback from your customers, maybe you want to measure what their favorite product is or what their favorite menu item is, then you can add your own attributes. So just to show you how that works, we're going to click Add Attribute in the top right-hand corner, and then you can give it a label which is based on whatever it is you're measuring. So let's say for this example, we're measuring the favorite dish of our customers. So we're going to label it favorite dish and then select our data type. So we have a number of different data types that you can choose from here. So things like URL, color, date, etc., all the way down to things like even license plates, which are a great use case if maybe you're something like a car wash or a car detailing company, and rather than using an email, you want to actually use license plates as a unique identifier, then you can do so really, really easily. For this example, because we're asking customers to tell us about what their favorite menu item is, we can do a select attribute, and then we're going to hit create. And now you can see you have all of the details of the attribute, like the label we've given it. If you want to, you can also give it a description. This is purely for internal purposes. So if you're sharing this dashboard with other colleagues, then maybe you want to add a description here so that they have a little bit of context. So customers tell us their favorite menu item. And then you can hit update here once you've done that. The attribute group for all of your contact attributes is going to be profile, so you don't need to worry about changing that. And now, because this is a select option, I'm going to be prompted to actually enter some selection options that my customers can choose from when I ask them this question. So I'm asking them what their favorite menu items are. So I'm going to add 3 or 4 menu items that they can then choose from. So we're going to say burger, for example. We can do French fries as another example. And we can also do maybe a milkshake. And as you can see, you can also choose to set any of these selection options as the default when you're creating them. You just hit this selection box and then hit create. If you're asking something like favorite menu items, I would recommend not setting any default item. But if you would like to, for example, measure something on a scale where you have a midpoint, then it could be a nice option to select that midpoint as the default, just in case someone doesn't give you a response. Otherwise, you can set no default, and if somebody doesn't respond through, for example, the form, then this characteristic or attribute will just be left blank. Now, once you've done that, we're going to hit create, and you can see that we have our 3 different selection options in here. None of them are default for now because they're menu items, so we want an unbiased response. And then beneath this, you're going to see recent versions of the attribute, so if it's been changed at all, as well as the activity. So that will also give you an overview of if the attribute has been changed, who it was created by, etc. And if you need or want to delete an attribute, you can do so at the bottom here. Now, the number one way of measuring attributes, and typically the most efficient way, is doing so using forms, because you can drag these attributes in as individual fields within your form. However, what you can also do is actually set these attributes manually by clicking on a customer profile. So I'm going to quickly show you how that works by going to CRM and contacts. And now I'm just going to submit the answer within my own profile here. So I'll select that profile and go to all attributes. And if I go to the bottom here, you're going to see that I have the favorite dish field. And if I hit select, I'm just going to refresh quickly. I'm going to select then French fries, and I can hit submit here as I've done so. And then you're going to see if I navigate back and go to all attributes, that's been saved. And now I can, for example, segment myself from other customers who maybe have a burger as their favorite menu item or any other segmentation criteria that you would like. So you can manage your attributes, like I said, by going to settings and selecting them there. You can add any kind of attribute and data type that you would like, whether you want to measure feedback using a long text form or you want to make things a little bit more structured and give people selection options. It's really, really easily done and really easy to record with forms, which I'll show you in another video very soon under the contacts and CRM lesson.